I want to gossip. First things first. Megan and Klay Thompson. I don't know what world you guys are living in for you guys to disrespect bad girl Riri the way you're disrespecting her, but let's talk about James Charles. Am I too loud if I say the beef between Ayra Starr and Tyla is mostly based off of colorism, and African fashion is still not at the level of the Met Gala yet, and it doesn't need to be? Kevin is a black man who is allowing all this to happen to him. And I can tell you right now, when I was in that situationship, I knew for a fact I did not want a relationship. So if you have a green couch and you're a girl, maybe you like girls too. Maybe. I'm not drunk. I'm not high. Welcome to Am I Too Loud, the podcast. Welcome back to Am I Too Loud, the podcast with Sophie, aka the mother freaking Odditty. If you're new or hi, my name is Sophie. Welcome to Am I Too Loud. I just want to let you know that yes, I know I have been taking a piss. I know that. I understand that. I feel that. You can throw tomatoes at me. You can throw whatever you want. I want you to know that I recognize that over the past 2-3 weeks, I have not been consistent. And I have no excuse. Honestly, I have no excuse. For someone who says she wants the dream life, she's actually taking a flipping piss by not posting all the time. So, did you miss me? Did you miss me, my loves? Guys, I miss you so much. Okay, let's take a step back because there's so much I want to say. Where do I start from? First of all, hi, how are you? Tell me. Go in the comments wherever you're listening. Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, SiriusXM. Well, wait, I don't be throwing all these names like I don't know where y'all are listening from. YouTube. Let me know. Let me know where you guys are listening from. Let me know how you're doing. It is May. It is flipping May. I don't understand where this year is going. When I tell you the plans I had for January, I thought by May they would all be sorted out. They are not sorted out yet, guys. And also, I don't know how to say this, but I feel really good now. I feel like, can we talk about the fact that, okay, there we go. I just started and I'm not drunk. I'm not high on anything except my love for you guys and this podcast. Okay. Excuse me. I just came back from dinner. I had the most delicious lamb chops from Capitol Grill if you're in America. Capitol Grill is my favorite restaurant in the world. I have gone to at least 14 states in America and had a Capitol Grill in each state. And every time the customer service, the food, it's so delicious. I always get the lobster mac and cheese with the lamb chops, butterfly cut, medium well. Sometimes I like to go medium, but if I want a little crisp, a little crunch, I do the lamb chops medium well. And it just, every time I go there, it just makes me feel alive. And let me tell you why. So when I was in DC, because if you don't know, I used to live in DC. Whenever I'd get depressed, and when I also started making a lot of money, I would go to the Capitol Grill by the Capitol area in DC, and I forget her name. I was about to flex on you guys. I think her name was Kylie. Kylie was a manager, I think. But they had this manager who was so sweet. She was a mom to a young daughter who was a poet. And I would just go there by myself, solo dinners every Monday. And I'll just go there and I'll just eat the lobster mac and the lamb chops. And I did that for about maybe 3 months. Okay, maybe 7 months. I'm not going to lie to you. It was probably a full year. And I fell in love with just eating. And someone with ADHD, you get hyperfixated on certain things. That was me. So I got hyperfixated on this damn lamb chops and lobster mac and cheese. And every time I think when I go to Capitol Grill, I'm going to order something else, I never do because I just love their lamb chops. Anyways, okay. Am I Too Loud is back and better. I say back and better because at least now we have a green couch. And I just want to say that something that I struggle with a lot with podcasting, especially now, is for most of the black podcasts that I listen to, they all feel very produced. If you know Sophie, you know how much I love things being very produced. But at the same time, I very much lean towards more of the authentic, raw creating. So think like Emma Chamberlain, for example. So I was sort of in a rut because I was watching my last podcast episode, the one right before my collab episode with On Our Terms with Ms. Smatu, and I just really felt insecure. I felt insecure because I was looking at my podcast and I was like, I wish I had a studio, or I wish I was doing the full production, because maybe that is what is missing from the podcast. When I tell you, because I am a nomad and I'm still on the go, it makes no bumbleclat sense for me to sit up here and have a studio or have any of these things when I really just enjoy grabbing a microphone. You guys see the logo. You see the logo right there. Grabbing a microphone and just yapping with you guys. So I'm like, if I want to make sure I upload every week, then I can upload the podcast on the beach. I can upload maybe not on the beach because the mic has to be plugged in. So maybe we need someone that has internet. You get what I mean. But, maybe we upload it on the beach, or maybe we upload it on the go somewhere. But one of my favorite things in the world is a green couch. That just tells you that I'm very bisexual. And I don't know if you guys know this lore, but if you are bisexual, you like a green couch. I think if you have a green couch and you're a girl, maybe you like girls too. Maybe. I'm just saying. Every gay woman I know has a green couch. And then straight women have white couches. I don't make the rules. I'm just letting you know. Am I too loud if I say that? Let me know. Anyways, okay. You can tell I'm in a good mood. I think I just missed you guys. I missed the podcast. It lets me rant and rave, and sometimes I struggle, and I can't wait to get to the point where we are having the conversation about how I have moved past the struggles I face, because one thing that stresses me out is the fact that I underestimate myself sometimes. Mind you, I am very confident in my abilities, but the secret to success is when you're prepared. And one thing about Sophie, I don't know if you guys know this, I am very rarely prepared. I'll give you an example. So I started acting classes recently, and I've been loving it so far. But I can excel, but I oftentimes don't excel as well as I can because I'm oftentimes not prepared. What I mean by that is, like, for example, I have class tomorrow. We're supposed to have memorized like a few lines. I have not had the time to do so. I mean, between social media, the podcast, pitching for myself, trying to get agency, doing all these things, I just don't have the time to study lines. But my priority is acting. So I need to get my together and start studying lines. So I know I'm not going to be prepared. I know I'm going to feel anxious about it. So I'm really not prepared, but I know that when I get there, I can wing it and I'll still be good. But I need to be great. And so I end up beating myself up because I'm like, I need to be better. Now, why am I saying all this? And why have I not taken a breath? I am taking the breath now. So why have I not taken this breath? Essentially, right now with the podcast, I feel like I'm sometimes not prepared. Why do I say that? Because I don't have a producer. I don't have an executive director. In fact, if I showed you what was right behind me right now, I am sitting on the couch and I have a ring light in front of me. I have my camera. I set up my plug for my microphone right here, and I am just recording. And I can't wait to get to the point where the admin side of things is taken care of, and then I can just create. And yes, I did have a producer before. It just didn't work out. There was a lot of mistakes that happened that I just don't want to happen anymore. And for that to happen, I need to have access in my hands and everything. What else can I catch you guys up on before we actually get started into this episode? That is pretty much it. So went to Capitol Grill, just came back today. It's been 3 weeks. In the past 3 weeks, I've been traveling still. I am currently squatting because I feel like that's the word for it. I'm squatting with my friends, Any Cash, Justin Yuji, and their roommate Isaac. And I have been loving it. I don't know if you guys have ever watched New Girl. I feel like I am living my New Girl fantasies right now, living in this house with them. I can get an apartment. I can get my own house. I don't know what is stopping me from doing so, except just comfortability, but also dreams. The goal is still to backpack across Europe this summer, and I'm really excited to do it if I'm able to. And the only thing stopping me right now is me getting my Schengen visa. If anyone out there knows how to get a Schengen visa that they will approve, please let me know. That is the one thing stopping me from backpacking Europe this summer. And I feel like once I backpack for 3 months, the goal is then to come back and, put my head down and continue my bucket list. So let me see. So that's what I've been doing. And I've been going back and forth to New York, visiting friends, shooting, filming, doing all the things. I've been in like a pretty busy headspace. Life has been good. Life has been really, really good. It's going to be June soon. June is my birthday, but also June marks 6 months of 2026. What the flying fudge has been happening this year? What is going on, guys? Does anyone know what's going on? Because I surely don't. I feel like January was so long, and then February, March, April, and May just are flying by. Everything I sort of planned for myself for this year hasn't happened. And if I'm going to be really transparent with you guys, the one thing that I feel that if I'm not too loud about it, is I feel like I really lack discipline. And what I mean by that is I took some time to think about the things that I wanted and the goals that I have for myself. And I realized that I am a big dreamer, but a doer I am not, especially a doer who is planned and prepared for it. So my goal this next half of this year is to actually just do the flying thing. Like, just do it. Like, don't get out of your head. Post the content, post the podcast, interact with your fans. Just do the thing you want to do. Like, no, the only thing holding you back is you. The only thing that's scaring you is you. The only person watching you is you. There's so much that I can say about my mental health, and I think maybe we'll get into that in another video. But I just want you guys to know that I'm okay. I'm right here and we're good. Okay, let us get into today's video. I want to gossip. Okay? So here's the thing. I have tried this thing on my TikTok where I try to do yap content. People don't like it. Or maybe just content doesn't do well, but you guys aren't really interested when I yap online. This podcast, I am happy to yap because so much has happened since the last episode, and I feel like I definitely want the podcast to go back to interview style podcast, so like bringing folks on when I feel like I'm a lot more settled, but for now we're going to be a commentary podcast, and there's a lot for me to commentate on. First things first, Megan and Klay Thompson. Now I know that Madam Joyce got dragged because she said, you know, Klay Thompson is needed Megan for climbing social status, whatever. Here's the thing. I follow Megan on Instagram. So I was one of the first few before the world started seeing it. Well, not first few, but like first maybe 10,000. Because that thing was 2 seconds when I saw that Instagram story where she posted what she posted about Klay Thompson. And if you don't know, let me actually find it because this tea has to be properly distributed, if you get what I mean. Meg Instagram. Where is it? There we go. Found it. Cheating, had me around your whole family playing house, got cold feet, holding you down through all your horrible mood swings and treatment towards me during your basketball season. Now you don't know if you can be monogamous. I need a real break after this one. Bye, y'all. When I tell you I saw that and I was like, what did we expect? Because you know what's crazy? I feel like let's get something straight. If you're listening to my podcast, I'm going to do an episode where I talk about reasons why you should maybe not listen to my podcast, because I've gotten a few comments here and there where people talk about me being a man hater, or they talk about me leading women astray. Here's the thing. I do not hate men. In fact, if there's some person in this world who can give you a non-biased opinion on men, it would be me. Whenever I have a conversation and I say men, if it does not apply to you, you do not need to respond with not all men. It's the same way when I say sometimes girls. If that particular story does not apply to you, then you can move on. I feel like with social media, we've lost the art of nuance, or even we've lost the art of like dissecting something and understanding whether it's meant for you or not. So if I'm like, as a Muslim girl, I struggled with X, Y, and Z, and you're a Muslim girl who has never struggled with X, Y, and Z, clearly I am not talking about you, because clearly there's going to be a Muslim girl out there who has struggled with X, Y, and Z. So when I say not all men, when I say men, when I say some men, when I say some girls, when I say some women, when I say X, Y, and Z, if it does not apply to you guys, then I'm not talking about you. It's just take what I'm saying and then apply it to whatever it applies to. Or again, maybe apply it to the situation that you might find yourself in. So in this particular situation, when I saw what Megan wrote, I was like, how many times have we heard from most men that they don't want to be monogamous? And I feel like I've had the conversation with friends around this idea that most people think that monogamy isn't cool anymore, and we see a lot less people trying to get married, trying to get into relationships. We've seen situationships happen. Dating is very exhausting. We've seen these conversations online. Here's my take. I think we are in a society now that has devalued the idea of dating or the art of dating because of the surplus of options that we have now. There's so many. You can swipe left on Tinder or right on Tinder, on Hinge, on Bumble, on Timey, I think. On Raya, you can swipe right on people without even getting to know them. You are presented with options on Instagram if you're scrolling, on TikTok, on Facebook, on Threads, on Twitter. When you feel like you have options, you never want to make a choice. And that's what I think is destroying the world right now, is folks see the plethora of choices that they might have and go, oh my God, I don't want to settle. And so this idea of not settling, that ends up being folks not ending up in relationships because they keep saying they don't want to settle, they don't want to settle, they don't want to settle. So with regards to monogamy, for example, I know that I have been in a few situationships in my time, most of them of my own choosing. And I can tell you right now, when I was in that situationship, I knew for a fact I did not want a relationship. So I was just having fun. If you are in a situationship, very rarely does it ever end up being a full relationship. Very, very, very rarely. Because if you've ever been in a committed relationship, you know from the beginning. Men, women, they, them, she, he, her, they, everything, they know, I know when I've met people that I fell in love with, I knew from the beginning this was a thing. I knew from the beginning I could love them and marry them and have kids with them. Now, family might have issues with them and that's why we break up. Finances might come into play, long distance, blah, 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 could then impact the issues and how we end up navigating the relationship. But for the most part, it's pretty damn easy to choose and commit to someone when you really care about them. So first of all, that's what I just want to say about Megan talking about he not wants to be monogamous, especially because a lot of women were talking about how this is why you don't cook for your man, this is why you don't clean for your man. Look at her posting the man. I also don't think that. I hate that we're embarrassing lovers. Where are the real lovers now? Why are we embarrassing people? I was talking to a friend, I think the other day, and she talked about how she was dating someone and she found herself being very cautious about showing up for him. And what she was saying was, she just know that online people are saying don't cook for the man. If you have food in your house, don't give him. That's wifey duties, girlfriend duties. What about crush duties, in love duties, duties? And I know, trust me, you might think, Sophie, you're the one saying this because there are a few times when I'm okay, yeah, there's some things I'm just not going to do. Unless you put a ring on my finger, I'm not doing that shit. Anal is one of them. But besides that, I'm so dead ass. If I care about you, if we're dating, if we're just talking, if we're in love, if we're married, I will show up for you the way I want to. It feels like you're choking me if I can't show up for you. So when Megan is cooking and laughing and vlogging and doing all these things and we're shaming her for showing love, instead of shaming the man for abandoning something so good because you have choice, you don't want to be monogamous, you want to be an asshole. Oh, please. And I still love when I was talking about how if they're going to cheat on pretty girls, if they're going to not choose pretty girls, no one is safe. No one is ever safe, baby. Pretty, not cute. Every single person is not safe. Let me just tell you right now, because I feel like when it comes to matters of the heart, you can't just ever put one umbrella over it. You just can't. So that was disappointing. And then I feel like everybody was just in an uproar about it. And then I've had a lot of men going yeah, with Megan and everything going on with her, he was never going to settle down with her. Oh, shut up. Shut up. Yo, it's not true. That's not what it is. It was just a man who had a plethora of options and did not want to choose the good one. End of story. And also we never really know, right, what's going on in these people's lives. So that is also a big factor. But for the most part, I wasn't disappointed. I just saw the news and I was yeah, it is what it is. I had a few friends who were oh my God, I didn't like them together. Oh my God, Klay was so quiet. Megan was doing too much. Most of the relationships I've ever seen that work out are when the man is quiet and the lady is all over the place. Queer relationships, straight relationships, all the relationships, we've seen it. Let's not all act like crackheads are always dating crackheads or quiet people are always dating quiet people. We've seen the yin yang situation where they say like, oh, the extrovert is dating the introvert, ambiverts dating introvert. Like that's usually what happens. Opposites attract. And also, what we know about these people is just strictly what we see online. You don't know if Megan is a quiet person. Like me, as a girlfriend, I'm a crackhead. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like you could tell. I am a nuisance of a girlfriend. Like, if I'm playing the dominant girlfriend, then I am pretty much like a bit more quiet. I'm a bit more reserved. I'm not doing too much. If I am fully in my sort of like feminine, submissive era, I am a brat. Okay, I am the kind of girl who's just having a good time, living life, not caring about nothing. Let me just tell you right now, your girl does not care about shite. I'm just living my best life. So that was it about Meg and Klay. I wish Meg the best. I love her so much. I actually don't listen to her music, which is crazy that I say that, but it's true. Actually, I just deeped it. But I love her, and I know what she's been through with the whole Tory Lane situation. So for me, it's like, I wish every woman happiness and joy. And also just sidebar as well. That just comes from just loving yourself. And I love that she's able to say, this doesn't serve me. I'm going to go and walk away now, because she deserves that. Okay, we're done with Meg. Okay, we're now going to move on to, we're going to talk about the Met Gala. And we're not really going to say a lot about the Met Gala, except it happened. The Met Gala happens the first week in May. The first weekend in May. And as someone who loves fashion, the Met Gala is like my Super Bowl, especially like influencer fashion girly Super Bowl. That's the Met Gala. 2 years ago, or like 2 years back to back, I've been invited to some events around the Met Gala. This year, unfortunately, I was not invited. Guys, that's how you know I'm not working hard enough. Does the industry not know I'm here? Guys, I'm back in America. Please, I'm here. Invite me. But the Met Gala happened, and the theme for this year was fashion is art. Let me double check that. Let's double check that. 2026. Yeah, costume art. So the theme for this year is costume art, celebrating the opening of the Costume Institute's new permanent galleries with an exhibition that explores the intersection of fashion and art. The event was Fashion is Art, encouraging guests to treat their outfits as artistic masterpieces. So if you don't know about the Met Gala, it's basically this gala, right, that aims to like make money for the Metropolitan Institute. I keep saying the Metropolitan Institute when I know is that the full name for the Met? Let's see. Let me see if I can find it. Yes. Oh, I was right. It's the annual gala based on the spring exhibition of the Metropolitan Museum of Art's Costume Institute, and it opens to the public May 10 to January 10. So you can actually go to the Met to see. And the Met is this gorgeous museum in New York. It has a beautiful steps. If you know the steps from Gossip Girl, that's the Met. And so this year was the costume is art, fashion is art. That was the theme. And a lot of people were saying that this year was a bit boring. I wouldn't say it was boring. I really just think that as a people, as a community, life is just hard right now. We don't want to see shit. We don't want to see joy. I mean, there's a war going on in Iran. Fuel scarcity is a thing. People are dying in Nigeria. People are losing jobs. AI is taking over. The world just feels a bit much. So I don't think people have the mental capacity to think, oh my God, this is a really nice outfit. And yeah, we could say it like, oh, we've had better years. Yeah, but sometimes the years we're talking about, the years were good. Like, at least we all have the energy to even like try to dissect these things in a way that would make it make sense. I think this year it was a collective. We're all just kind of exhausted. Okay, we're all just kind of exhausted. Outside of that, though, the Met Gala was really fun. We had a lot of people attend. Emma Chamberlain absolutely killed it. She was my best dress for the entire night. I cannot wait to be in that position, in that shoe. One step at a time. Focus on yourself, Sophie, and your own would come. Kim Kardashian showed up. Typical. She killed it. Damson Idris, don't piss me off. He pissed me off with his outfit. I did a whole reaction. So if you guys want to check that out, go to the Oddities TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you might find the Oddity online. I posted Met Gala reactions to it, so you can go check that out. But what actually came out of the Met Gala was Tyla and, drumroll please, Rihanna. So here's the thing. I was scrolling. I was sitting down on this couch, actually. I was laying on this couch. And I'm scrolling. And I see on Twitter. I've been on Twitter, very, very active on Twitter lately. And the secret to surviving Twitter, guys, or X, is posting what you want to post and mute it. Every time. All my posts are muted. I don't care what you're responding. I love my followers so much. And if you DM me on Instagram, DM me on TikTok, on YouTube, anywhere, I would respond to you. X, I can't. Like, I can't engage. Okay. They stress me out over there. But I'm scrolling on X and I just see this video and someone's like, Tyla just responded to the Rihanna video. And I'm like, Tyla responded to the Rihanna video? What Rihanna video? So before I watched the Tyla video, I went to search, because that's how this is it. That's how you find tea online. Okay, guys? That's how you get the tea. You go to the source first, because then you're going to muddy up the timeline. You don't want that. So I said, pause, copy link, send to text. I went to search Rihanna, Tyla, Met on TikTok immediately. I saw the video. In this video that was at the Met, Tyla is standing to the corner. She has this gorgeous mermaid outfit, but she says it's a peacock. And Rihanna is standing beside her, dressed like Rihanna said she was like a pearl or oyster. Yeah, oyster. And then A$AP Rocky is talking to Asian lady. I think it wasn't a white lady, or maybe it was a white lady. I don't know. I couldn't really see her face, but he was talking to someone on the side. And Rihanna sort of like, you know when like you're the girlfriend, you're just standing there, you're just like looking, you're like waiting for your man to be done, that kind of vibe. And so we just see Tyla like probably like so stiff. She's just stiff in the corner. And that video was circulating and people, of course, I don't know about you, but when I saw that video, I just thought, oh, they're waiting for their cars or something. That's usually what happens at the Met. A few of Tyla's fans decided to say that Rihanna was being jealous, disrespectful, rude, and being a loser because, you know, Tyla is Tyla and Rihanna didn't say hi to her. She was ignoring her. Now, here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. I don't know what world you guys are living in for you guys to disrespect bad girl Riri the way you're disrespecting her, but let me tell you something. I grew up in a household filled with respect. And there's certain people, no matter how crazy they might get, no matter how annoying they might get, that you cannot disrespect them. Nicki Minaj right now has been pissing the entire world off. She's practically MAGA. But the one thing you can't take away from Nicki Minaj, she's the fucking queen of rap. She did her thing. She's gone through the work. That's the same thing you're going to say about Rihanna. Rihanna is 40-something years old with 3 kids or 4 kids. Who is Tyla when we're talking about the queen of pop, Rihanna? Okay, like, do we not remember the Rihanna versus Beyonce days? Rihanna versus Shakira, like we've had Shut Up and Drive. We've had Shut Up and Drive. We've had Diamonds. We have had Oh Nana, What's My Name? Oh, don't play. Water could never come close to What's My Name or Diamonds or anything. What? Spider-Man. Let's dance to Rihanna's song. Spider-Man. Okay? Please. Okay? So when I saw those tweets at first, I was like, okay, that's a bit strange. Like maybe they're reading something more into it. And then I went on Tyla's page and I opened what she said. And basically Tyla is like, you know, I met, so this is the full video. I'm not going to play for you guys. I'm going to tell you what happened. Like, you know, enjoy this. Tyla's like, yeah, I just woke up, guys. Yesterday, she said, I met Rihanna last year. And when I met her, it was kind of awkward. I kind of said hi, but she was just like, she was in a hurry. She wants to talk to her baby daddy. And then this year again, when I met her, I kind of just stayed by myself because I don't like disturbing people. So if I'm going to say hi to you, I want you to give me the energy that you're going to say hi back. If you're not going to say hi back to me, I'm just going to stay in my lane. I'm just going to not engage. So that's it. Like, I love her. I'm a fan, whatever. My issue with that video was Tyla I don't think she needed to say anything. Like, and if she was going to say something, maybe she should have just said, I love Rihanna, I'm a fan, we just couldn't get to talk, and I hope we'll get to soon, or something, right? Because I feel like what it ended up happening was it ended up becoming bigger than it was supposed to be, because that video it didn't add anything positive to the entire situation. In fact, it added more fuel to the fire, because now what you ended up saying was she ignored me once and then she made comments about how Rihanna was like, yeah, I'm waiting for my baby daddy. She threw in the baby daddy. She threw in like, oh, you know, I'm just gonna bother anyone. It felt very I'm not gonna stress myself, or like she's not gonna say hi to me, I'm not gonna say hi to her too, period. Like, end of story. Now, as someone of Nigerian descent, I listened to that and I said, hey God, you don't have respect for your elders though. Because to me, it's the same way that if Beyonce is standing beside me, I want to say hello, but I'm not going to say hello because what if she slaps me? Like, I'm going to keep my cool. And maybe because Rihanna is not small accessible to you because she was standing there, you guys are in the same place, made you not feel like you guys are peers. I don't think they're peers. And I don't think Rihanna had any reason or need to say hello to her. I genuinely feel like if Tyla is as big of a fan as she says she is, that the right thing in that situation was to say hello. Like, if you're shy, hey, I've done this before to people I'm fans of. Oh my God, hi, I don't want to bother you. I know you're busy right now. I just want to let you know I'm a huge fan. So much love, and move on. Now, if you did that and then the internet, there was videos going on and Rihanna was rude, disrespectful, she ignored you, she did just smile, whatever, then now there's fire and you can go on and say, at least I tried. But the entire energy was just like, it just came off a bit weird. I think that was the entire thing. It just came off a bit weird. Anyways, so that happened. And while this is happening, Rihanna then responds, because if you guys don't know, Rihanna was crazy. Rihanna before motherhood, crazy. Rihanna is from Barbados, so Caribbean girls don't play. So Rihanna responds with a Met Gala recap video, and she uses the audio of Mrs. Ayra Starr. Now, if you don't know the lore, Ayra and Tyla have beef. Now, Ayra and Tyla have said they don't have beef individually, but their fans have beef. Now, some might say, for whatever reason, Tyla doesn't like Ayra doesn't like Tyla. My own thing is, why must we always pit women against women? I never see, besides Drake and Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us, and even then, I'm not going to lie to you, it oftentimes is left at like the talent, the art. Like, when you hear about men beefing, it's never about personality, it's never about behavior. It's usually about like diss tracks or we can't wait to see what they're gonna do here. For women, it makes them feel, you guys, I'm just getting so frustrated when I think about it. I'm tired. It's the same thing with Alex Earl and Alex Cooper. Like, we always want to pit women against women every single time for no reason. Like, even if they don't like each other, it has nothing to do with their person or who, like, I don't know. I'm over it. And so for me, which is very disappointing, I think that's the word for it, which is disappointing. So people then decided so Rihanna posted this Ayra Starr clip or a song in the background, and people were like, oh my God. And then Ayra responds, and now people are dragging Ayra for like throwing shit at Tyla because she responded and said Rihanna is an icon for using her music. Now, maybe there's a beef, maybe there's not a beef, but if Rihanna used my song in a Met Gala recap video, I would be a psycho not to respond to that. Like, I would be an actual psycho. So there's that. And plus, am I too loud if I say the beef between Ayra Starr and Tyla is mostly based off of colorism and white adjacentism? I don't know if that's the term. They're both really, really talented women. They're absolutely talented. And I really think y'all hate Ayra because she's a dark-skinned woman. Ayra is absolutely ridiculously talented. She's marketed well. She's pretty much even marketed more than Tyla is. And y'all just don't like to see a dark-skinned woman win. And I am very rarely the one who would always bring race to the forefront. Actually, that's a lie. I take that back. Everything's about race. Everything's about race when slavery happened for 400 years. So please, miss me with that bullshit. I might too loud if I say that, because I think that's really one of the biggest reasons. Because why are you telling me Ayra Starr doesn't like Tyla? What? Half the time when we see both of them together, they're vibing, they're laughing, they're taking shots together. If anything, most of the time, the sideways pushing and side eye and everything is usually from Tyla's end. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I'm just saying that from the videos we see, she might just be the kind of person that likes her thing. Like, she just likes being by herself and she doesn't want to mingle with other people. And that's fine too. But I really am just... The moral of the story is we need to stop pitting women against each other. I think there's so much space in the world to win. And honestly, if we all banded together and just say F the men, you know how successful we would all be? Huh? Do you know how successful we'll be? So please, miss me with that bull. Anyway, so that was pretty much the Met Gala drama. Ended up being more about Rihanna, Tyla, and Ayra Starr, which I think is really cool. Than actually the fashion itself, because we didn't really see much. Beyonce was at the Met Gala and she came with her baby and she kept talking about how, like, Blue was there, and Blue's her baby, and she's so proud of her. And it's crazy to me because people that I grew up watching who were like young baddies are now moms. Like Beyonce is a mother and she has children. Rihanna is a mother, she has children. And I'm turning 29 this year, and I think it's not scary, it's just interesting, and it's different to like live in a world now where my childhood idols are now like, they're grown, they're like icons, they're getting awards for being icons and so many things, and it's pretty special. Okay, so on the note of like fashion and Beyonce, the AMVCAs. If you don't know what the AMVCA is, what the acronym is when you're listening to this, AMVCA stands for African Magic's Viewers' Choice Awards, if I'm not mistaken. And this is Africa's biggest movie award. So think the Oscars, but for Africa. Now, you're probably wondering, Sophie, why are you bringing the AMVCAs up? Because usually the AMVCA happens right around the same time as the Met Gala. Usually the Met Gala happens maybe the week before, the AMVCA happens after. And over the past 2-3 years, because we've been talking about how we want African fashion at the forefront of the world. We see Paris Fashion Week, we've seen London Fashion Week, Copenhagen Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week, Lagos Fashion Week is also coming up in its own right. We want to see more Black designers. So AMVC has sort of become that thing for a lot of African artists, influencers, creatives, actors, actresses to sort of showcase fashion. Now, a lot of people tend to combine or compare the Met Gala and the AMVCAs. I don't think that comparison rings true. I just explained to you guys. The Met Gala is a gala to raise money for the Metropolitan Museum of Art. The AMVCA is an award show, okay? The two don't even have the same objective, right? And I love that the AMVCA has become a place where folks can showcase their fashion. But I think one of the biggest issues with African fashion and the African fashion industry is, one, lack of resources. Let's just say that. Lack of resources, lack of stability. I don't know if it's lack of wearability might be the grammar to use, but this idea that most of the fashion we use is for like one-time things. Like we're creating for individual moments rather than like, there's no fast fashion in African fashion, which is a good thing. I'm just stating a fact. And also one of my biggest things, as we've seen in the news, is a lot of the designs that we do see, they're pretty much very well executed, but some, if not most of them, are copies. And there's very few artists who I can call out to say haven't copied looks from Asian designers, Indian designers, even European designers. I think Vicky James is one of the biggest designers that I know personally, that it's just, she designs her stuff and it rings true to like her core design. But for the most part, we can see that online because folks have been talking about how with the AMVCA, it kind of sort of gave a few people were inspired by Pinterest and AI and recreated looks that wasn't their own design. And that is why I think the African fashion is still not at the level of the Met Gala yet, and it doesn't need to be. My proposal is, if we want an African version of the Met Gala, we need, whether that's a fashion publishing house, like an Alara Lagos, we need like a Kai Collective creating a gala, a Vicky James gala, something where someone turns this into a resource for up and coming designers to create and dress their famous celebrities to then make money for something. I think that would give the Met Gala. I think, do you know how cool that would be if like there was a Vicky James gala or VJ gala where, designers picked like 20-50 celebrities and they all got to design outfits for them and they came to show out on the carpet and we got photos from the carpets of their looks. Not photo shoots 3 days before, not photo shoots with AI, not photo shoots of all these. I want to see the fashion and the outfits in real time on the carpet. There's so, like, the Met Gala works because we're seeing it in real time. It's live. We're looking at the interviews they're showing and we're seeing the garment move and we're able to critique it and talk about it. I don't want to react to Instagram posts. I don't want to react to Instagram videos. I want to react to the looks in real time by something like a Getty image in Nigeria. So those are my thoughts on AMVCA. I was told to do a few reaction videos. I'm not going to do it. I think by this time it already is honestly too late. And there's just no need. I don't think there's a need for it, honestly. So yeah, there's that. Let's talk about the Hantavirus. Guys, a cruise ship of 140 something passengers sailed through the Atlantic or Pacific, I can't remember, and brought Hantavirus to different places in the world. I remember COVID, and I remember being so sure that nothing was shutting down during COVID, and then COVID happened, and then the life was not the same for 2.5 years. We were all living in fear. I think that I am tired of people playing in my face. Why would they not keep all those people on that ship? Why are those people out of the ship? Stay on the ship. I'm so sorry. If I was on that ship too, I'll stay on this, because why am I getting up? And also, the amount of, this is the thing about conspiracy theories, because someone was telling me that this hantavirus thing, right? If I was on a cruise ship, the Virgin Voyages just did a creator cruise, right? And I saw, if not 300 plus points or viewpoints of that cruise ship. You're telling me there's 140 something people on a cruise ship who might be sick, and I did not see one get ready with me to go try to get medication today, get ready with me to go see if we're gonna get off the ship today, get ready with me to see if I have a symptom? Not one. Don't piss me off. I know I'm a conspiracy theorist, because I'm like, where are the get ready with me's? Is it not on my timeline? Are people hiding it? And also I'm like, okay, well, if I do know I'm stuck on a cruise ship with the hantavirus, maybe I will not want to do a get ready with me, because I'm scared, and I don't want people to be like, you know, that's the girl who did the get ready with me, and she might have the virus, and then people are going to drag me and everything. So I get that, but something's not adding up. Anyways, that's that. Hantavirus is a thing. I'm praying to God that it does not become bigger than what it currently feels like it is, but we move. Hopefully it's not. Let's talk about James Charles. So I was scrolling online and I see Jackie Aina reacted to a video. And first of all, if you don't know who James Charles is a beauty guru. He's a gay guy, white guy, who has been in a lot of crazy nonsense. If you're not really into the beauty space, then it doesn't really matter. But essentially, this guy is a crackhead. He has a lot of terrible allegations. You're there for the Hey Sister era, all of that stuff. Is it Bye Sister? That, I don't know. It's white people drama. The point is, James Charles is a big influencer, and he also has his own beauty company. So James Charles posted a video, and Jackie's reacting to this video, and I'm like, before I watch, again, this is how I enjoy social media. Before I watch Jackie's reaction, let me go try to find the original video. In this video, James Charles opens the video in the meanest way possible. He just is like, am I too loud if I say? We'll get there. He introduces this thing in the meanest way possible, and he just goes, basically, that Spirit Airlines, if you don't know, Spirit Airlines is an airline in America that is unfortunately gone under. So they quit and fired all their staff, shut down services. They're one of the cheapest airlines in America. So James Charles is saying that he got a DM from a follower, and she was talking about how she lost her job when Spirit Airlines went under, and she just really needs some money or something. And he's just basically saying that she doesn't follow him, she doesn't support him, and she's asking for money, that she's lazy, she needs to go work. The amount of time she's sending these messages to creators and influencers is the amount of time she'd be using to try to find a job. Now, on one side, as someone who's a creator, if I open my phone right now, I can show you guys. If I open my phone right now, I can show you guys at least 25 to 30 DMs asking for money that I've gotten in the past hour, and I'm not even a big creator. So that is something that creators do face. Absolutely. Sometimes they're even bots. Sometimes they're real people. Sometimes people even send me photos of their families in bed, x-rays. They send me photos of people in the hospital. I get those a lot. And sometimes when I get that, I feel defeated. I feel sad, because on one hand, I feel frustrated because I'm like, I can't do anything. I feel really guilty. I feel like, don't you understand that I also have family to feed, and not everyone who's a creator and influencer online who has thousands of followers is making enough money to even be able to give out money anyway. But if they can, they would. That's on one hand. Now, one thing I would never, ever, ever, ever do is fix my 2 pieces of lips. I would never fix my lips and come on Beyonce's internet to say and speak the way he did. I have never felt such vitriol and nastiness. I've never seen that in the way he did it. And he responded with an apology where he said he was just frustrated because this person wasn't following him. But I don't think that really matters. And let me tell you this. I am one of the people online who, I'm not a big proponent for folks who sit in their own echo chamber. and I know this might get people maybe a bit riled up, but am I too loud if I say that I can coexist with someone who voted for Trump, who is MAGA, who is racist? I can coexist with them. I might not respect them. I might not like them. I might not agree with them. But I think having a degree in peace and conflict studies has sort of given me this background view into people, into understanding that sometimes people's behaviors and actions are as a result of something. Now, they might not always get they might not always give me the same courtesy. They might not even always respect me. They might not even want me in their same space, and that's fine. And I can always use social cues and nuance to know when I'm wanted and when I'm not. And I'm going to bring that up with the Kevin Hart roast I'm going to talk about soon. But in many ways, this particular situation, I can understand the frustration. And I also even follow James Charles. That's why I brought that up. I follow James Charles because I was very curious about him and his audience. And people can argue that, well, I'm following him, I'm supporting him because the number. I'm telling you, I'm one number out of all the millions of numbers, which is also a weird way to think, because if you say that about elections and then your votes don't matter and then it really matters, you can go into a rabbit hole. The point is, when I saw that, I was so disappointed. I wasn't surprised. I was disappointed because that kind of privilege and perspective comes from someone who really hasn't really suffered in life. You know, like, there's no reason for me to knock anyone's hustle because I understand what it means to hustle. I have not always had money, always had the privilege, none of that. So I would never fix my mouth to speak like that about anyone. And honestly, at the same time, nothing's going to happen to him because a lot of people did understand his frustrations. I understand his frustration. I don't respect it. I don't respect how he went about it. If anything, he could have DM'd her and said, hey girl, you're not even supporting me. I'm not sending you anything. End of story. For you to come online and then speak the way you're speaking, especially around the economy, there are people who have worked 9 years in Google who lost their jobs. People who have worked in Snapchat, who have worked in Facebook, who are icons, who are scientists who have lost their jobs. People aren't just dilly-dallying at home. I have a friend who recently just lost her job, who is one of the most intelligent, hardworking people I know, who applies to almost 100 jobs every week trying to get something. No one is just sitting on their hands, just waiting and let me DM celebrities, see if they're going to give me money. And maybe some people are. But at the same time, it's not your business to try to speak to them in that way or disrespect them in that way. It's just sad. So yeah, he's not going to get canceled. That's for sure. He's not going to get canceled. It's not going to be anything crazy. He's probably going to go scot-free. And I think that's very much typical. I just wanted to let you guys know that that's pretty typical. Okay. So that's the end of James Charles. Now, speaking of James Charles and supporting people, Kevin Hart. Okay. I'm a big fan of Kevin Hart. I don't know this man personally. So whenever I think about celebrities, unless I know them personally, then I might have maybe differing opinions, but I don't know Kevin Hart personally. However, I do respect how hard he works. I think he reminds me a lot of me, or I see myself in him a lot in terms of his drive and his dedication to his craft. Kevin is the kind of person who is very much intentional about the life he wants to live. He does 50 things. He has a podcast, a show. He has all the resources. He's a comic. He's all these things. And that's why I always talk about how I want to be the next female Kevin Hart, because to me, I love to do multiple things. Like I told you guys this all the time. Now, one thing about both of us is Kevin is disciplined and I'm not. So I need to work on that. But I love Kevin Hart. So he did a roast on Sunday night. And if you listen to this is Wednesday. I don't know when you're listening to this, but he did a roast the second weekend in May. And I have never been so uncomfortable in my life watching a roast. I think in today's society, people are a bit sensitive. I don't know if it's a bad or a good thing. Am I too loud if I say we are too sensitive? But I'm not sure, again, if it's a bad or a good thing. Because sometimes we struggle as a society with this idea of do-goodism, or idea of like cleanliness, or who is the best person, when we all are oftentimes thinking it. Now, what do I mean by that? I think there was a time in the world where, I think about it from like the Jackie Chan and Jet Li movies, and what is that with Chris Rock, where there was like a bit of the white chicks, like that era of TV where racism wasn't overt. it was more made fun of in a way that folks were just like, ugh. They would insult like gay people, and they would insult black people, and they would insult white people, and it was uncomfortable. It was whiteface, it was blackface, it was all these things. And in that era, it was uncomfortable, but I think it allowed us to at least be able to have the conversations. Hot take, am I too loud if I say that our constant need to criticize and censor, our constant need to censor words or things that are a bit heavy is making us all run away from the tough conversations. So if we're talking about the R word, people saying the retarded word, most of the times you only now hear those in safe spaces where it's like very intimate, very loaded. We need to talk about this. And it's not spoken about in a light way. Now, there's a second party of people who might argue and say, when things are spoken about so lightly, it's damaging. There's another party of people that say, when things are spoken about lightly, it's easier for things to be out in the open and more accepted. I don't know what's right. I'm not going to sit up here and say X, Y, and Z is right. I will say that for the Kevin Hart roast, Kevin is a black man who is allowing all this to happen to him. If he's accepting it, who am I to not kiki and kaka? Now, the one joke that I heard that I was like, ooh, I don't know, was when they talked about him getting lynched on a bonsai tree. If you don't know what a bonsai tree is, a really, really short, like it's like a little like floofy tree. It's like a mushroom tree kind of. It's really short. Kevin is short. Black people got lynched in America, hence the joke. People don't joke about lynchings. Another one, white comedian actually joked about, George Floyd looking up, talking about how he can't breathe because he's laughing so hard. So it was a bunch of white comedians doing racist jokes. The black comics did respond back, but it doesn't hit the same because we sort of give the power to the white people. And am I too loud if I say that there's some thought in the idea that we're taking our power back when we do have these conversations and these jokes? Now, I'm not saying that these are the right things to do, but Kevin has stood by it, and it's a roast, and he said nothing is to be held back. We all know Kevin Hart. We know how hard he punches. So I enjoy the roast. I didn't realize how much trouble I would get for saying that, but I remember I was scrolling on Twitter and I was talking about it. I was like, oh my god, I love this so much. And now I realized that people are not talking about this and people are not saying they're enjoying it. So am I the problem? Like, I enjoyed it. I liked it. Tiffany Haddish was there. Regina Hall looked a bit pissed off the entire time. I thought it was an act though, because when it was her time to roast, she was acting like a medium between Kevin's mom and Kevin. So maybe that's why she was behaving the way she was behaving. But she was there. Chelsea Handler was there. I'm also a big fan of Chelsea Handler. And I realize now that I might be a big fan of problematic people, but in a world that tries to have you be this really good person, I really enjoy seeing bad people. I'm not saying Kevin Hart or Chelsea are bad people, but I enjoy seeing people falter and get back up. I think it's obnoxious for us to live in a world where people think everyone's perfect, because we're all living the same life. And maybe you have the common sense to be good from the beginning, but not everybody does. Okay, not everybody does, and that's okay. Like, I don't get the idea of villainizing people for being who they are. I don't get the idea of being terrible to people because they were terrible to you. It's just not my thing. It's not my style. Now, that might be a problem to you, and that's okay. That's why we're two very different people. I accept that. But yeah, so I enjoyed the Kevin Hart roast. If you've not watched it, it's on Netflix right now. Go watch it. I have not watched The Devil Wears Prada 2 or the Michael Jackson movie. I don't think I'm going to watch either. I've not been a movie girl. I've been more of a TV show girl. But my friends have been thinking of going to see Devil Wears Prada 2. So maybe I would just go for that. I wouldn't say I'm not a big fan of Michael Jackson, but I will say that I'm not really pressed to watch the movie. I don't know what would be in the movie that might like tickle my fantasy. I'm not sure. If you guys think I should watch the MJ movie, let me know, because I will. But yeah, guys, what else? There's a lot going on with me, but I think the goal right now is to simply just record podcast episodes and have yap sessions about whatever is going on the internet, and slowly start inviting more guests to the episodes to ask them about their opinions on the internet and their thoughts and like being who they are and excelling And I really love the podcast. I love being able to yap because clearly, you know, I'm opinionated. And I think one thing we're going to be working on is branding and being a lot more intentional about the things we say on this space. Hopefully, ideally, sometime soon we sign to a network or something, so I'm able to record this more, maybe find myself in the radio, because I think I have such a radio voice. But we'll see. Love Island is starting soon. If you guys want me to do some recaps for Love Island, let me know. I have actually, I'm not going to lie to you, I've never watched a full Love Island season. I have only ever watched it on TikTok, so I might be doing reactions on TikTok. Not gonna lie to you, I might just watch the TikTok recaps and then come here to yap. But let me know what you guys want from the podcast. Let me know what you guys enjoy from the podcast. I like yapping like this. I like reactions. I like reviewing questions and stuff. So we'll do more of that. And yeah, guys, we're back, baby. Oh my god, that was so much fun. I love you. I love talking. This is red wine. I love talking. I love talking very much. I love being here. If this is the setup I need for my podcast anywhere I go, we'll be back and we'll be ready and we'll be active. Maybe even start uploading twice a week, because there's always so much to say and so little time. I don't have time to edit that. I take that back. I take that back. Your girl is not doing that. I shouldn't have said that. Honestly, I got an editor. I don't have the money. Okay. I love you guys. I'll see you guys in my next episode. I love you, pod fam. Tell me you love me back, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.